We now return to Talking to a Bears Fan, already in progress.
I just want to tell you, the Packers are going to sweep the Bears this season.
What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It's hump day over here, you know what I mean? And this is the day that we pick all the NFL games for the upcoming week, you know what I mean? And that's what we're here to do today. And we're going to talk about a lot of good stuff. It's going to be a good time, you know what I mean? And Vinny, with like the pre-intro, like what are you doing? Like how do you think of this stuff?
I fell on my head when I was a little kid. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a
pre-intro.
gift or a curse. I don't
I have
know.
nothing to do with the pre-intros, just to be clear. And I think we're missing one of the places didn't go live. But anyways, we're gonna keep it moving over here. But yeah, so we're picking all the NFL games. But before we get into that, you know what I mean? Let's give a shout out to the sponsors of this show. You know what I mean? We're talking about Quick Trip. You know what I mean? And Christmas is coming up. You know what I mean? You need some Christmas gift ideas. Get them a gift card over that Quick Trip, and then they can go there and get themselves some urged chips and popcorn. 2 for $3.33. They're almost giving these things away. But I got a lot of gift cards in my wallet. I don't know when they expire. I got some from Quick Trip when I went to a Quick Trip thing one time, and people giving to me sometimes like gifts and stuff. People know I like Quick Trip. You know what I mean? I probably have like $9,000 worth of Quick Trip in my wallet, but I got to use them. You know what I mean? So go get yourself some gift cards, and hopefully your people use them. And also Nicolay Law being the most fantastic lawyer in the Midwest over there. If you get injured, things ain't going well for you, Nicolay Law is going to take care. You know what I mean? Go to nicolaylaw.com. And they're gonna hook you up, get you back on track. You know what I mean? But let's get into this. We got Rick in the building. He said, "What up, Matt and Vinny? Go Pack, go Pack, go Vinny." You know what I mean? Or Rick and Vinny. You know what I mean? Both of you. And Brandon, thanks for being here. And Aaron, I can't put it on the screen, but absolutely, you know what I mean? But so we're gonna pick all the NFL games. But before we talk about that, you know, shout out to Terrence Parsons. Micah Parsons' brother over here. He said a time was had, go Pack, go, hashtag bear down. He's wearing the Thank You Jerry beanie that I sent him because I shout out to Dakota from Campeche Collective. He does all my merch. He does his own as well, so check him out. But we were talking one day. We're like, hey, we should send his brother because his brother's just super cool on Twitter. Terrence Murphy, shout out. But Terrence Parsons actually shout out. But he's so funny. He goes at Cowboys fans. He's just funny. He's just good content on Twitter. It's kind of rare. There's like 3, 4, 5 people I really like on Twitter that are just entertaining all the time, and he's definitely one of them. So we sent him some merch, and he actually wore it, took a picture. So there we go. You know what I mean? Shout out to Terrence Parsons and obviously Micah, dude. I think he had 8 pressures against the Bears. Like Micah Parsons, everyone's saying that he wasn't going to be a factor. What are we doing? Philly Boy says, are we live? We are live right now. You know what I mean? I think my Matt Ramage show Facebook page didn't work, but I think we're live everywhere else. So nobody watches there anyway, so I don't think it'll be a problem. But here we go. Brandon, what? Oh, yeah, we already got that one. Evening, everyone. What's up, Cedric? No, that's cigar smoking. What's that? Arborist? All right, I hope I got that right. You know what I mean? What is up, man? I appreciate y'all. All right, so Daniel says, F the Packers. I respect it. You know what I mean? Troll away, my friend. All right, so let's pick some games, Vinny. Vinny, how you feeling tonight, first of all?
I'm feeling pretty good. And bottom line, like I said, I just want to say a big thank you. I was really blown away by all the birthday wishes yesterday. I tried to go on there and kind of like give a reaction, like a heart to everybody that posted a message. So if I missed one, I'm sorry. I was blown away. There were so many. But thank you. I was really touched. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? The people are awesome. We have a great great community over here. But yeah, Shad Rowe in the building. Gotta shout him out. I appreciate everyone who's listening also on the podcast on the audio version. If you don't subscribe on the audio version, you should change that. Even if you watch live, you're probably gonna want to like, ooh, let's listen to it too the next day. You know what I mean? So check it out over on Apple, Spotify, the Matt Ramage Show, everywhere that you listen to podcasts. So let's dive into some stuff. You know what I mean? Let's dive in. Thanks everyone in the chat. But let's get it started. Thursday Night Foosball. We're going to be doing a live watch party. That is tomorrow evening. We have the Falcons heading off to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks over here. And the Bucks, 96% of CBS land thinks they're going to win this thing. I think the Bucks, I don't know, like, I'm trying to look right here. Because the Bucks, you know, we've been talking about the Bucks all year. And the Bucks started off really good. I'm trying to look at the record. Okay, 7-6, the record is. I feel like they started off pretty good, and then they kind of just fell off over here. I think it shows their last 5 games 1-4 for the Bucks, also for the Falcons. But I got the Bucks in this one. But the Bucks they're not good, dude. You know what I mean? Baker Mayfield, I like Baker Mayfield. I like how he plays. I like his, like, he almost got that little Brett Favre in him, you know, back in his playing days, where he's just like going for his body, doesn't care. You know what I mean? So, but I think the Bucks win this game. But this is a who cares game too, right here. But we gotta get to a comment right here. We have a $10 make you holla. Dark Arc Poker. He says, yo, Matt, I'm a man of my word, and I bet $5 each against every one of your picks last week, except the Packers, of course, and turned $70 into 104. Let's run it back. Cheers. Beers on me. Go back. Go. So
you know what that means, Matt? You know what that means, right? Here we go.
There we go. Let's get it. Let's get it. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. They really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck. All right, we got to dance for every... But no, let's break down that comment real quick before we move on to the next game. He said he bet $5 each against every one of my picks from last week. So he bet against every pick I made, and he made money, except for the Packer game. So every other pick I made, he bet against it. Dude, that lets you know the level of I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Well, you do say that every time you talk about your picks, you know?
Yeah, I'm not good. We're gonna show the rankings up. I think I'm in the 90s. You said earlier. So, but yeah, we're not good over here. Shout out to Dark Arch Poker over there. You know what I mean? You know, I'm glad I can make you some money. You know what I mean? But we got Rick said Falcons by 10. You know, but here we go. Let's go to a game people care about a little bit. We got the Cleveland Browns. We got the Chicago Bears over here. You know what I mean? And you might thinking, hey, this is a situation where Matt might pick the Bears to win. You know what I mean? Not the case. I think the Cleveland Browns win this game, and I really believe it in my soul that the Cleveland Browns win this game. We got Sanders back there. I wasn't a big believer in Sanders, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know a lot about him. I didn't watch him in college, and I'm not a college guy. But 5th round pick, and I've seen all the drama around him, and you know, obviously like who his dad is. But I watched some highlights. Like I feel like he's got something. Like that scrambling touchdown he had. That was pretty good. If they can get that offense going, that defense is so good in Cleveland. If they can get that offense going, and I think he might be the piece. And either way, he's a rookie. He's having fun. He's doing stuff. At least go out swinging. You know what I mean? Offensively, if you're the Browns. And I know the Packers lost to the Browns. People like to talk about that a lot. You know what I mean? So I just like I don't care, first of all. I don't care. I know the Packers are number 1 in the NFC North right now. And number 2 in the NFC. That game was a fluke, but I think the Browns can beat the Bears. Let me know in the chat. What do you think, Vinny? What do you think? Do you think?
I think the Browns are going to win because one, the Bears secondary is not as good, and I know Sanders is going to pass. He had 3 or 4 touchdowns last game, and that Browns defensive front is good at stopping the run, and the Bears rely on their run game. So there you go.
So are you actually picking the Browns?
Yes, I am. 100% picking the Browns.
Top, 5 in the pick.
I am going on the record saying. I
kind of value because I know I'm biased. I'm a biased fan. I'm a Bears hater. You know, I've been hating on the Bears before it was cool.
I said it the other day, and I'm saying it again. I am picking the Browns to win, and you get the Vinny guarantee.
There you go. You got the Vinny guarantee. Judith says Packers are my team forever and always. Go Pack, go Shut. That's my mom's name. You know what I mean? But there we go. Brandon said Browns will beat the Bears 27-17. Very specific. You know what I mean?
And it's going
Mitch
to be a
said
very
Browns
cold
win
game, too.
on the last play of the game. And I could see that because the Bears keep everyone close. So, Brandon's got the 27-17. That would be rare for the Bears this year, and I'm with it. You know what I mean? But they tend to stay close, and the Browns ain't a team. You know what I mean? I don't think that they kind of blew anyone away this year. You know what I mean? They did beat the Packers. I know you're going to mention that. I'm in 25th place. Brett says people ahead of me, please start losing. Brett Hansen over here. Shout out to Brett because I've been doing this pick'em for like I think a couple years. I forget how many exactly. I always remember this name, and he's always near the top. So even if you're not in that top 10 or whatever, you're always like near the top. Like ball. You know what I mean? I bet you do good in gambling. I don't. Browns by 13 says Rick. All right, so we're gonna jump ahead to this next game. But here we go. Let's go to the next game. We got a lot of chat coming in. I appreciate it, but we got to keep it moving. We got the Ravens and we got the Bengals. Let me tell you something about this game right here. All right, because Joe Burrow is back. So the Bengals record is not good. I don't know if they have it right here. I'm trying to keep up with this. Oh yeah. No.
Was it 4 or 5 wins?
They're 4-9 against the 6 and 7 Ravens, but Joe Burrow is back, right? From what I understand, and I'm taking the Bengals in this. I think with Joe Burrow, that's a good football team. They just had bad luck with injuries this year, and the Ravens. I don't know what they're doing. I keep picking the Ravens to win football games, and they keep not winning. You know what I mean? And 61% of CBS land thinks the Bengals are going to win too. So I think people have that same that same thought. But here we go. What do you think, Vinny?
I agree. I was going Bengals at home for this one.
Yeah, Bengals at home. And Kevin said, we are here for the entertainment and hanging out with common fans like us that shares their real thoughts. There we go. Kevin getting all, deep with it. You know what I mean? But, Bengals. A lot of people are thinking Bengals. I think the Bengals. And I got Lamar Jackson on my fantasy team, but I'm starting Jordan Love going forward because Lamar Jackson, that team, I don't know. They're just not they're not getting after it like they were. And I think that they could at any given moment pop off and have a great game. But like Ravens aren't it at the moment. I wouldn't bet on them. Yeah. And we just got to stop betting on them. And Brandon thinks the Bengals will win as well. But here we go. And Philly Boy, last comment before we jump to the next one. Quote the Raven even more, go Bengals. There we go. Rick said Burrow sucks this year. He threw the game away against the Bills, Ravens by a landslide. I don't know. He's been hurt most of the year. You know what I mean? Kevin McAllister and the Bengals 31-27. He says, all right, so let's keep moving. We got the Cardinals. We got the Texans. I had to look up on this one. Who did I pick in this? I got the Texans. The Texans are kind of on a roll right now.
They've got it together right now. They're rolling.
Yeah, their last 5 games are 5-0. The last 5 games for the Cardinals, they're 0-5. And I think that tells you all you got to know about that. You don't have to look at any further stats. The Texans are getting after it. They're fighting for their spot. The Cardinals, they're thinking about, which U-Haul they're going to use, you know what I mean, at the end of the year. They have 3 wins in this season. So I'm taking the Texans. I don't think we have to talk about that too much. I think I lost my mouse on the computer here. I found it, dude. But here we go. Yeah, so Texans, I think everyone's going to take the Texans. We're going to keep it moving over here. And then we got the Jets taking on the Jaguars. All right, here's what it is. The Jets are a horrible football team. Not good at all. Not even almost good. Not even like maybe. Nope, never. 3 wins they have. The Jaguars are kind of on a roll. They're 9-4. 99% of all of the world on CBS land thinks the Jaguars are going to win this game. And I want to see what their last 5 games will play. I think that's like the best way to tell like what a team is doing if you're not really locked in on that team every week. They're 4-1 the last 5 games, but the Jets are 2-3. So that's for the Jets. That's a streak. You know what I mean? You got to give them a streak on that. But the Jaguars, I think, beat the living dog crap out of them. You know what I mean?
I would like to emphasize: do not vote against Matt on this one to try to make money. The Jets are not going to beat the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some games here. Maybe you wouldn't want to bet against me. I think I'm locked in this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this one's going to be a lock. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be hilarious if the Jets could. That's how it goes in the NFL, though. Just like crazy stuff happens over there. You know what I mean? So let's keep it moving over here. Who cares about that? And then we got the Chargers. Chargers sitting over there at 9-4, right? They're taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at 6-7, and the Chiefs were kind of like one of those teams, like when the Patriots were doing their thing, where it's like even when they're kind of slumping, you don't bet against them. I think it's okay to bet against the Chiefs now. I really do. They're 6-7. I think it's over for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think long term, but I think this season. The Chargers, what are they? Are the Chiefs favored by 5.5? Is that what it says? It says Chiefs minus 5.5. Isn't minus mean
Probably because of the weather. They're at home.
But the Chiefs, the last 5 games are 1-4. The Chargers, last 5 games are 4-1. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think the Chiefs are getting more just because they know what they're capable of. But what you're capable of and what you actually do is 2 different things. And I'm taking the Chargers this one. I think it's. And dude, I can see the Chargers lighting up too, and just putting that last, dagger through the heart, Game of Thrones style up on the Chiefs. You know what I mean? But I don't think the Chiefs are done forever. I think Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. But in this season, what's happening right now, I think it's time to stop picking them. You know what I mean? Because I pick them. That's why I'm so bad at picks. I keep picking the Chiefs. You know what I mean? They're 6-7. That's what I am. I think I pick them every week. These are my guesses. Let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? Hey, I love people jumping in the chat. Let me know. You know what I mean? We don't all know everything. 76% of Jets players say they'll lose. That's Mitch. Shout out to Mitch. But yeah, I got the Chargers winning big in that one. So let's keep moving over here. Now, this is a good game right here. This is a really good football game. This next one, we have the Buffalo Bills heading off to New England, take on the Patriots, a longtime rival. They don't like each other. Patriots beat the crap out of the Buffalo Bills for a lot of years. Brady and all them doing their things. And now that, it's Bills' time to shine. And they think so, right? But then you got the Patriots busting off, and they're 11-2. So they're back in action over here. So I want to check this because the Bills, they're 3-2 last 5 games. They're kind of, they have games, but then they have kind of flaky at times. Patriots 5-0, 11-2 on the season. CBS Power Rank, they're first place. The Patriots are. Bills are 10th. And they're just the strength of schedule for the Patriots, so 32nd. You know what I mean? But I'm taking the Patriots in this thing. I picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl for a lot of years. I figured that it was their time, but they just don't get it done. You know what I mean? But let's get to some comments over here. Brandon says Patriots will win 24-21, and I do think it'll be close. You know what I mean? Even Philly Boy over here says Pats in overtime. Yeah, I think it'll be close, but I think it's going to be a heck of a game. What time is that game on? We got Sunday at noon for that game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, game time temp for that Bears game on Sunday is 8 degrees. It's going to be a cold one. That's going to be a cold one for the...
Yeah, those wind chills are going to be nasty.
Yeah, they're not going to like that. That's going to be a rough one. All right, so let's keep moving over here, you know what I mean? We have a game nobody cares about, but let's talk about it anyways, you know what I mean? We have the Commanders and we have the New York Giants. I'm wearing the New York hoodie. This is a favorite hoodie I bought from New York. For people who listen to the podcast, it's like a New York hoodie, but it has a map of the subway. So, I feel like if you were visiting New York and you wore this map, you would be all right, even if you lost your phone. You'd be like, all right, where the heck am I? Let me find this. You know what I mean? You had to stop someone on the street, like, hey, what's that say right there? It's hard to see on my shirt. But, yeah.
Or if you got kidnapped, just kind of mark your path and then throw it out the window, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm taking the Giants in this game. Giants are 2-11, but the Commanders look like absolute dog water. The Commanders are, 3-10, but they just look so bad when you watch them play football, especially the last few weeks or whatever.
Yeah, and they just lost Jaden. They lost Ertz. Yeah, they're done.
Yeah, he's been off and on all year, it seems like. But, yeah, I'm taking the Giants. Who cares, though? You know what I mean? This is one of those lesser-known games. But shout out to Giants fans. I met some good Giants fans over there. So, you know what I mean? I'm not going to root for you, NFC-wise. But you're 2-11. I can root for you a little bit. You know what I mean? Here we go. And then we got the Raiders sitting at 2-11, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, 8-5. The Eagles are supposed to be like this big bad wolf team. You know what I mean? They're favored by 11.5 in this thing because a little bit of redemption. They're taking on a lesser team. Raiders aren't having a good time right now. But the Eagles haven't been looking good at all, dude. What is the offense doing? Last 5 games, the Eagles are 2-3, dude. 2-3. You're supposed to be a contender in the NFC, and 2-3. I'm not talking trash a little bit, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I think Eagles fans are probably thinking the same thing. You're 2-3. What's your offense doing? Let me check their offensive rank, dude. They're 24th in total yards, 22nd in passing yards, 22nd in rushing yards, and 19th in points. I wish the Packers could play them now. I think the Packers would totally dominate the Eagles right now. They
It
lost.
doesn't
Them.
sound like a big bad wolf to me.
You know what I mean? But I'm taking the Eagles in this game.
Yeah.
Saying all that.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the
exactly.
Eagles are a good team. I feel like they have the tools, but they're not getting it done right now offensively. They're kind of going through a thing. But you know what I mean? All right, I'm trying to get to the comments over here. We got take the Eagles to cover. Yeah, they probably will. I think the Eagles will probably play anger. They're going to run the ball. The Raiders are not good right now. But Phil Boyd said Raiders did contend with Denver. So, maybe the Raiders have something going there. And I was looking at Denver. We're going to talk about that in this next game. But I was looking at Denver, who they played a lot, last little bit. They, you know what I mean? Here we go. Please talk smack. They talk so much. Yeah, they do. Eagles fans talk a lot of smack. They do. I just think that the Eagles are in a bad spot. They're not. Their offense isn't getting after it. And I don't think anyone's afraid of them come playoff time if they're there. You know what I mean? The NFC ain't a game. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get moving to a game everyone cares about. This is the main event. This is the game everyone's been thinking about through this whole show. We have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Denver Broncos, and that is in Denver. All right, so 40% of CBS land thinks the Packers are – 40% say the Packers are going to lose. No, 40% say they're going to win. 60% say Denver's going to win. All right, anyways. I said that way wrong. But we got the Packers. The spread is 2.5 for the Packers. And let's check out a few stats. The last 5 games, the Packers are 4-1. Broncos 5-0. But the Broncos, we went through their schedule. Do we have that, Vinny? Who the Broncos played?
I don't have it right now. I had it for yesterday, but I got
it. We had it yesterday.
Yeah.
We were paying attention yesterday. But who they beat? I think they had one, rough team. I don't think the Broncos are as scary as people think. I think it's going to be a tough fought game. Don't get me wrong. Strength of schedule: the Broncos 31st, the Packers 27th. So it's not like the Packers have had, they kind of.
We're definitely going to be the toughest team they've played in the last 5-6 games.
Yeah, so we're going to check out these rankings right here. That the Broncos defense 3rd in total yards, 12th in passing yards, 2nd in rushing yards, and 4th in points. So that's a good defense right there. You know what I mean? And then the Packers offense 13th in total yards, 14th in passing yards, 19th in rushing yards, 10th in points. So the offense kind of the middle of the road right now.
Okay. But keep in mind, that was without a lot of our key receivers.
Oh, yeah. They got some guys back. And I think
we were able to maintain that with injuries. Okay,
yeah,
now we're getting key guys
and the last
back.
couple weeks, Matt LaFleur seems to be kind of being a little bit more aggressive offensively. But we talk about the Broncos defense. Let's look at the Packers defense, 5th in total yards, 7th in passing yards, 9th in rushing yards, and 6th in points. So the Packers defense ain't no joke either. And the Broncos offense, real quick, they're 10th in total yards, 17th in passing yards, 14th in rushing yards, and 14th in points. So they're kind of, middle of the road kind of an offense too. I think the Packers defense should be able to shut them down. Can the Packers offense? I think that's what it's on, because you got to have faith that the Packers defense is going to get after it, and they're going to shut this offense down. All right, this is going to be the toughest defense that they played. I'm pretty positive. But the Packers offense has to get after. Let's get to some comments over here. I'm going to scroll up here. Everyone talking about the Packers. Brandon said Packers will win 28-14. I like that. I think right in there. Dark Arch Poker says Packers by 1. It's going to be a close one, he thinks.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Ravens Packers flex the Saturday night 12:27. Yeah, absolutely. Ravens Packers December 27th, 7 p.m. Central Time at Lambeau Field. But here we go. Packers by 2 scores, says Philly. I like that a lot better,
See, Philly's got faith.
Yeah, Packers win and cover, says Dark Arts Poker. And Rick, Green Bay 24-21. And Jordan, is this Jordan Love, you think? Packers -2 is an easy play. Broncos are barely winning games. Yeah, I think the Broncos are very winnable. And I'm not trying to be all cocky, like the Packers are going to blow them up and the Broncos are trash. The Broncos have been winning, and that's what you want. And you are your record. I've always said that. You are your record. So, I don't care about, easy wins. You played this team or whatever, lucky wins, all that. You are your record. But, the record's about to change, and not in the good way. You know what I mean? Because the Packers are coming to town.
Speaking of Jordan,
Jaden Reed coming back, open things up for Green Bay. We get Jaden Reed. Do you understand, dude? Christian Watson's so good at football. He changes his offense so much, and then you start bringing weapons back like Jaden Reed. Matthew Golden's been out. I'm not sure all the situations on the injury report right now, but Christian Watson, when you start bringing guys like Jaden Reed in there, it changes. I think this offense has potential to get after.
Exactly.
They're going to have to protect, you know what I mean? That pass rush ain't a joke. That's kind of like, I feel like any team with a pass rush and you kind of get at Jordan Love a lot, I think that's when you get in trouble. I think any offense, you could say that. That's why we like the pass rush so much for the Packers defense, because when every offense struggles against a really dominant pass rush. So you got to protect
Hey,
that.
Matt. And speaking of Jordan Love, a shout out to him when he was on the Pat McAfee show. Did you happen to see what he was wearing?
Yeah, Toyota Thon. I saw that.
Toyota Thon.
Yeah.
So
I think they're sponsors now.
but no, shout out for that. That was awesome.
All right, sideline report. Packers by 14. I'll be at the game, and the Packers are 4-0 all time when I'm in attendance. Also 3-0 this season. There you go. You know what I mean? That's all we need to do right there. We don't even got to talk about it no more. You got to lock down. Shut the sideline report over there. Make sure you get to that game. I don't care what happens. Mitch says 27-17 Packers. Dark Arch Poker says 2 Saturday night prime times in a row. It's crazy because that's what happens when you're one of the better teams in the league, one of the better teams to draw in people. Everyone wants to see the Packers. When other Packers play like prime time and they start talking about ratings, it's always huge. It's always like a lot of records being broke. A lot of Packer fans out there, you know what I mean?
Do you know, Matt and I were talking about that before we went live. You guys might get 2 straight weeks of Matt and I going every night.
Doing live streams every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you've been.
Yeah.
Sound like the Diddy
that's
documentary there for a second.
No Diddy stuff. No.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that, and then we'll pick some games on Sunday. Maybe if there's a really good noon game, I'll do 2 games on Sunday, like a noon and Sunday Night Football. We're gonna talk about that. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a day. It's gonna be good. Warm day in Denver Sunday, 56 degrees. Yeah, that'll be a big day. All right. So
I'm telling you.
I didn't ask you yet, Vinny. What's your prediction on this game?
Oh, I think.
Got an itchy
Well,
eyeball.
I want to say the Packers are going to win big, but that wouldn't be the case. It is going to be a close game. These are going to be 2 really good defenses going at it. So I'm going to say 2017 Pack.
Yeah, and realistically, so 2017 you say, but realistically, this could be a 10-7 ball game.
It could, yeah, easily.
This could be like a 6-3 game. I hope not. I don't think so. I think the Packers' offense is good enough to overcome, and the way Matt LaFleur is kind of, he's trying to call the game a little bit more no fear. But also, when you're playing a really good defense, you don't want to be stupid. So you have a really good defense. They have really good defense. Now, you don't want to start throwing interceptions, putting their offense in 30-yard line to go ahead scores and just giving up points willy-nilly. So you got to be careful there and not giving it away, because when you're playing against a defense that can really get after it, that can be the difference maker of a game. But I expect the Packers offense to get some stuff done. They're not going to throw up 30, 40 points, but I expect them to get after it. Dark Arts Poker says 13-19 the Packers. High altitude is the thing right here. A high altitude, though, might affect performance. That's the thing. I don't know anything about high altitude. Going to the Broncos, Denver, they always talk about it, whatever, high altitude. And I don't know. It'll probably be a thing. All right, let's keep it moving over here. You know what I mean? I think we said all we got to say about that. You know what I mean? But I think the Packers win that one. And so let's keep it moving. And then next we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Los Angeles Rams. And, dude, this is a game the Lions really need, dude. And they're playing a really good football team. I want to get to one comment over here. I don't want to ignore Shadrow95 talking about the last game. This might be like Packers-Browns game, but with a better offense, we should be fine with the receivers back. Absolutely. I agree. Shadrow95, you know what I mean? But anyway, so let's keep moving on the Lions-Rams. All right, so the Lions really need this game, and the Rams are good. The Rams are sitting at 10-3, Lions to 8-5, and for the Lions to go 8-6, that could be horrible for them, right? That could be really bad. And the last 5 games, the Lions are 3-2. I know, you know what I mean. I don't know who gave them one of those, twos. And then the Rams are 4-1. The Rams are getting after it. They're 12th. Look at that. CBS Sports Rank. They are 3rd. The Lions are 17th. I think the Lions lose this game. And it's really going to hurt them. The Lions ain't out of it by any means, but I think that they're going to lose this game. They're going to be sitting at 8-6, and they're going to be in some trouble, I think. I don't know.
Here's a good question for you, Matt.
What do you got?
Would you rather have Now, I mean, let's just say, okay, the Packers, we're expecting the Packers to win the division, hands down, right? Would you rather have the Bears in the playoffs or the Lions in the playoffs?
I mean, I don't think it matters what I'd rather have. I think the Bears are going to be in the playoffs, and the Lions not.
Do you think we'd probably have a better shot against the Bears or the Lions, do you think, in the playoffs if
I
we
think
had to
it's
play
probably
them?
equal. I'm not really worried about either of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the Lions have more experience in the playoffs. I just don't. We swept them. I'm not really worried about them. I'm not worried about the Bears either. I think the Bears
Yeah.
the Packers are going to sweep the Bears too. I don't think either. I think I would rather have the Bears, just because I enjoy beating the Bears, and I would like to knock them out of the playoffs when they finally get there after all those years, and then to be able to knock them off. That'd be
See,
fun.
and I agree we would probably do that. I'm just trying to think, not to be negative, but what would be a wild card jinx team that could potentially be a threat?
I don't think anyone in the North the way this team is playing this year.
Yeah.
But Matt says I like my chances more against Chicago. Their defense sucks. Yeah, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Caleb Williams has some good playmaking abilities, but he also makes mistakes. He also does stupid stuff. He's a young quarterback yet. They don't scare me. The Lions are a team that when they're at their best, they're really good. But so far this year, you know what I mean? But we're talking about this game over here. Mitch says Rams in a high-scoring game, maybe 41-33, and I can see that. A high-scoring game. But I think the Rams, I think, Devontae Adams, how many touchdowns do you think for him? If Green Bay wins and the Rams lose Packers #1 seed in the NFC, yes, we kind of want that's a weird thing to live in. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, the Rams are the #1 seed, so if they lose, but I still think the Rams are going to win that thing. Matt said the only redeeming quality of their defense is the ability to generate timely turnovers. Yeah, they get interceptions. If you throw them up, they're going to catch those things. You know what I mean? But all right, so let's keep her moving there, Vinny. What are you doing over there? What's going on? You looking down? You text messaging people?
No, I'm got
You're
my
at work
picks.
right now. Let's stay focused.
I've got my picks, as you can see right there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm following along with my picks. So if you say, who'd you pick? I can tell you who I picked.
I'm just kidding.
I'm working here.
All right, we got the Panthers up next, taking on the Saints. I'll tell you right now, 92% of CBS land think the Panthers are going to win this thing. 100% of the people don't care. You know what I mean? So let's get it moving. I got the Panthers in this one. Saints, anytime the Saints come up, no one cares. Then you got the Titans and the Niners. The Niners are going to beat the dog crap out of them because the Titans suck, right? 2-11. 1% of CBS land think the Titans are going to win this thing, and that's I don't buy that. I don't think you can have 0%, so they always just say 1%. But I think the Niners beat the dog crap out, but who else cares? You know what I mean? All right, let's go to a game that matters over here. We have the Colts taking on the Seahawks. All right, so the Colts, they're bringing in Phillip Rivers. This dude's 44 years old, I believe.
They signed him.
Yeah, they signed him. They brought him in, and they're taking on the Seahawks. So he doesn't get an easy game either. He's coming back, dude. I'm 46 years old. You're very old, much older than me, way older, like in crazy amount older. And
Come on.
I can't imagine even trying to suit up for a high school team. And this dude's gonna play in the NFL. Obviously, he's in better shape than me. He's been doing it his whole life. Well, I'm not comparing myself to him, but at that age, if he gets rocked, oh my goodness. But Phillip Rivers is a dog, though. He's a trash talker. He's in your face, throughout his whole career. So I don't think that he's built the same as I am. I think we were built a little bit differently. You know what I mean? I was built on McDonald's. He was built on just athleticism. But
does he still have the stamina to go 4 quarters right now?
Yeah, you know what I mean? We lose that after time. 13.5 point spread. The Seahawks are favored in this thing, and I expect the Seahawks to win. I don't think you can really look at it because they got injuries. Last 5 games, the Colts are 1-4. Seahawks 4-1. So now, if they get a quarterback, can the Colts just pop back up, start getting after it? I'm taking the Seahawks in this thing, but are the Colts done? Do you think the Colts are done, or do you think that they have some fight left in them and try to get something going here?
Stick a fork in them. They're done.
Oh my goodness, not very jolly of you.
No, I know it's not very jolly, but they're done. I mean, that's like taking like 2 or 3 spark plugs out of a V6 or a V8. The engine will still run, but it ain't gonna run smooth, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that he even wants to come back, dude. I think he just spent time. He has like 15 kids, right? He has a whole bunch of kids over there. He has like a whole squad, and I think he was
needs
just
the
like,
work.
dude, let me get out this house.
He needs money.
Yeah, I don't think he needs money. I think he's probably did all right through his career. But those kids are expensive. I think he was just like, let me get out. I got to do something. Probably the only way he could get out without like just abandoning his family. Matt, need a shout out to my guy Brandon. Action turned him on to your podcast. First time listener tonight. There you go. Shout out to Brandon over here. You know what I mean? Vinny, you got none for that? I'll put it up there. There we go.
Oh, hey, you know what? We're gonna give him this. Are you
Shout
ready?
out to Brandon.
We're gonna no. We're gonna give Brandon the gold treatment. Here we go. You ready? Let's go.
I already did the music. You know what I mean? You don't gotta do this all the time.
Come on. It's for Brandon.
Dude, it's funny
Yes.
because I was at work the other day and someone walked in and a couple guys and they started doing that dance. So that says that they saw it. And then they're
That's
making
awesome.
No, they're
I
making
told
fun of
you. Tell people, put it in the chat. You love it when Matt dances. Tell me
No,
that
we
you
don't
love
be dancing all the
Put it
time.
in the chat.
All right, so yeah, I got the Seahawks winning that ball game. You know what I mean? Let's keep it moving over here. We have the Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys sitting at 6-6-1. The Vikings. Am I seeing that right? 5-8.
No, your eyes are working.
Viking fans told me how good they were before the season started, so I thought that couldn't be it. But there you go.
Viking fans never talk trash. What?
You know what I mean? I got the Cowboys in this one. I don't think the Vikings might win another game. Actually, they won last week kind of convincingly, but I don't think that they're going to win against the Cowboys. The Cowboys, I feel like, are one of those teams that they can kind of pop up every now and again. The Cowboys are favoring this thing by 6. We got here 3-2 the last 5 games, 1-4 for the Vikings last 5 games. The Vikings are just not good. Cowboys aren't particularly good either, but I feel like the Cowboys got a little more spunk in them, and I think the Cowboys are going to win this thing. Let's get to the chat over here, though. You know what I mean? Brandon says Cowboys will win 28-14. We're on the same page. You know what I mean? I like Brandon. Yeah, that's usually what I go with. You know what I mean? But if I did that for every game I thought that about, we would have a very short show. Here we go. Jordan says Cowboys bounce back game still in contention for the East. Yeah, I think that they're still in it. They still have that mentality. The Vikings don't have the mentality. Imagine playing for the Vikings. Like, you're in the toughest division in the NFC North. And the toughest division in the league. And then they're like, yeah, the Bears are good, the Packers are good, the Lions are doing their thing, but the Vikings, like, you're the one team that is just trash, just garbage that's on fire. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying the Bears are good. I'm just saying the record says they are. But Philly boys say when the Cowboys lose, America wins. But I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen. I tend to agree with that. I don't like the Cowboys at all, and I probably dislike the Cowboys more than I dislike the Vikings, even though Vikings are in my own division. But just because the 90s, it was a rough time for me. But the Vikings are, I don't care, honestly. I will get enjoyment no matter who loses. And I will probably make fun of whatever team loses. If the Vikings lose to the Cowboys, I'll make fun of them. Hey, at least, you know what I mean? We might have tied, but we didn't lose to them. And if the Cowboys lose, I was like, you lost to the Vikings, bro? They don't even have a quarterback. But Mitch says the Cowboys win. And Philly boy, last comment for this one. He says, Agent 9 is back. Vikings fans think he's great again. Yeah, dude. The Vikings fans, they like to say the word delusion every now and again. And, you know what I mean? They need to pump the brakes and take a look in the
a tie.
Yeah,
we actually called a tie on that one.
There. All right, let's get moving over here, Vanner. Who we got next? The Dolphins and the Steelers. All right. Steelers 7-6, taking on Dolphins 6-7. I feel like the Dolphins are done. The Steelers got some life. I think whenever you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, I don't know their whole division situation, but I think the Steelers are going to win this thing. That's just.
And we will be covering this game. This is the Monday night game.
That's Monday Night Foosball, so we will be there. I'm jacked for that because it's always fun to do watch parties when Aaron Rodgers is playing. It's always fun to watch Aaron Rodgers play football. You know what I mean? I think that they're going to win that game. I think the Dolphins, like they're so sketched out. You expecting them to be better.
Yeah, you got Rodgers, you got Daniels on the Dolphin side. I mean, you got gold.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sideline report says Rodgers winning. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Brandon says Steelers will win 27-10. A-Rod. Yeah, he's always fun to watch, especially watch parties like that. You know, obviously when I started doing it, he was the quarterback. He's been super accurate with his long ball accuracy. Yeah, and I think he will never lose that. Like he might lose some of the mobility and whatnot, but Rodgers just throwing the ball and his accuracy is just so on point. You see him; he scrambled out a few times. I seen some highlights. But yeah, he's not doing that he's not so mobile as he used to be. And he was never like crazy mobile. Like he could get the job done, but he wasn't like wasn't crazy like that. I heard Ravens game got moved. Is that on Sunday Night Football? No, it's Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. I forget the exact date, but December 27th. Yeah, so December 27th, Saturday night, the Packers take on the Ravens at Lambeau Field. All right, let's get moving over there. So we got the Steelers. Oh, that's
it.
We got one more. No, that was it. That was Monday Night Football. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right, so there we go. Those are
we can make up a game if you want, real quick.
Yeah,
if you want one more.
Those are your picks. Those are our picks, and make sure you get your picks in. You know, if you're in the Ramage Pick'em League, Mitch said Dolphins will keep it interesting, but Steelers will win. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like a blowout. I think they'll probably be in there, but I think Steelers win by 10. That's what I think. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Saturday Night Football. Yeah, two weeks in a row. Oh yeah, SNF. I guess there's still an S. So you were right. You know what I mean? I don't know if I believe you though. I don't know if I believe that. I'm just kidding, Matt. Do we have a Supermax Flex? Because we're getting a lot of questions about Supermax Flex.
Oh man,
or Vinny. I don't think we have.
I don't usually do it on this show. I just do it for like the games.
Yeah. That's just for games. Some things just for games. We have a limitation. You know, what do you think our budget is on this show? 31-31 tie. He says. He scored his first rushing touchdown, Rodgers, in 3 years. He did the belt. That was awesome to see. That was awesome. Packers PSA equals what do you got? Sunday at 3:25 Central Time. Next 2 Saturday primetime games. But yeah, they're gonna have 2 Saturday primetime games, and then we'll have to figure out what games we're gonna do for a watch party. So there we go. I appreciate everyone who tuned in and watched, and shout out to Vinny, the producer over here. You know what I mean?
Hey, thank you. And we will see you guys definitely tomorrow night for Thursday night foosball.
Who's playing, Vinny?
We've got the Falcons at the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Probably not.
Yeah,
but it'll be a good game.
But you know what? We'll make it fun for everybody.
I think the Bucs will win. Yeah, but we'll screw around. We'll do all types of stuff. But okay, look at that. Philly Boy said you stopped killing me in games. Yeah, what's up with that, Vinny?
Well, just changing things up a little bit. That's all.
So how come you always say beating a dead horse, but with that one you liked? That was about me. We can beat.
I think when he beat the dead horse, he's talking about Gene Wilder, and you know what? I happen to like Gene Wilder.
Well, I know, but I'm saying it's the same thing. He's doing the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here we go. Matt says Bucs gets Evans back. So yeah. So I think the Bucs are going to win that game. It'll be interesting. And then we got Brett, one last comment. He says, right on. Have a great rest of the week, everyone. Appreciate everyone who hanging out with us tonight. Come hang out tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football. We're going to have a good time. Watch party. If you've never been there before, Brandon, you know what I mean? Come hang out tomorrow night. See what the watch parties are all about. And make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, The Matt Ramage Show, on Apple, Spotify, all the places that you listen to podcasts. And you can go to themattramage.com. Find my merch, find all the stuff I'm doing over there. So check it out, themattramage.com. And we're out of here. Go Pack, go. Let's get another dub, baby. You know what I mean? All right, we out.